Advaitācāraḥ, the Advaitic Way of Life. Chapter 1. Viveka, Discrimination. The philosophy of Advaita is simple to understand, yet among the most difficult to live. It teaches that Brahman alone is the absolute reality, and that the apparent multiplicity of the world is ultimately not different from that one reality. While this truth is intellectually inspiring, applying it in day-to-day life demands great maturity. The transition from intellectual understanding to lived experience is fraught with ego traps. The seeker must be able to distinguish between true realization and egoic rationalization. Advaita is perhaps one of the most profound philosophies ever revealed. Yet, for said reason, it is also one of the most misunderstood. Its misunderstanding generally takes two forms. The first arises when a seeker, lacking the necessary preparation and maturity, hastily grasps the highest teachings of non-duality. Such a seeker mistakes intellectual understanding for realization, neglects the disciplines that purify the mind, and eventually becomes confused when life fails to conform to those lofty ideals. The second is even more subtle. Here, the ego itself appropriates the teaching. Having heard that everything is Brahman, they attempt to behave as though they have already realized the truth. Some even proclaim, "I am Brahman, therefore no rules apply to me." Such an attitude is not the mark of realization but of spiritual immaturity. Statements such as "I am Brahman" are repeated not as the culmination of realization but as an excuse to disregard dharma, responsibility, and moral accountability. This leads them to misuse Advaita for self-indulgence rather than a means of liberation. In both cases, the error is the same: reaching for the absolute without first becoming established in the relative. Advaita is not an escape from life, nor a license for the ego. The seeker must therefore tread this path with humility, discipline, and above all, Viveka, discrimination. In the context of spiritual practice, Viveka is the ability to distinguish between the absolute and the empirical, between the eternal and the transient, and between what is spiritually beneficial and what merely appears attractive. We have already seen that Brahman alone is the Paramarthika Satya, the absolute reality. Yet, until this truth becomes one's direct realization, the world continues to function as Vyavaharika Satya, the empirical reality governed by reason, ethics, causality, and dharma. Recognizing this distinction is essential. The superficial realization that everything is Brahman does not free one from the responsibilities of the empirical world. Rather, it demands greater clarity in how one lives within it. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa beautifully illustrated this through a famous parable. A guru was teaching his disciples that every living being is a manifestation of Narayana. Not only human beings, he said, but animals, birds, and every form of life are all Narayana. One disciple was deeply inspired by this teaching and spent the entire day contemplating it. The following morning, as he walked through a village, a mad elephant came charging down the street. People scattered in every direction. The mahout repeatedly shouted, "Move aside, the elephant has gone mad." But the disciple remained where he stood, thinking, "Why should I run? The elephant itself is Narayana." Within moments, the elephant lifted him with its trunk, flung him aside, and continued on its way. Though he survived, he was badly injured. When the Guru came to know of the incident, he visited the disciple and gently asked, "Why did you not move away?" The disciple replied, "Master, you taught us that every living being is Narayana. I saw only Narayana in the elephant." The Guru smiled and said, "Yes, the elephant was indeed Narayana, but why did you not listen to the Mahout Narayana who warned you to step aside?" The disciple immediately understood his mistake. This simple story conveys a profound lesson. To perceive the divine in all beings is wisdom indeed, but to ignore discrimination or Viveka in the name of spirituality is ignorance, avidya. True Advaita never rejects dharma, the righteous living, reason or humility. Until the realization of Brahman becomes direct and effortless, the seeker must continue to honor the empirical world as real while contemplating the Absolute. The two are not contradictory, rather they belong to different standpoints. For this reason, the guidance of an enlightened Guru is indispensable. Only such a Guru can discern the seeker's maturity and gently lead them forward. Spiritual growth cannot be hurried. Just as fruits on the same tree ripen at different times, every seeker matures according to their own preparedness. Until then, let the contemplation remain firm. Brahman alone is the absolute reality. However, let the conduct also remain equally firm. The empirical world must be lived with discrimination, humility, and dharma.